There we go. All right. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're live now, and I wanted to have this conversation. There's a blog post that I saw a couple people tweeting out, and it is I thought it was interesting, so I want to talk about. I've been wanting to talk to some of the people over at Indiecron for a while, and I reached out to Jean-Luc Miesel, and he was very gracious in agreeing to come on. So without further ado, Jean-Luc Miesel, thank you for being here, sir.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I am the very gracious Jean-Luc Miesel from Indy Kron, the Master Blaster, the man with the most, the man that everyone can't decide if they like or hate.
Now, why is that? Because well, first of all, let's talk about Indiecron. Why was Indiecron created? What's its purpose outside of Comicsgate?
Well, it's gone through a few iterations, obviously. At the beginning, of course, it originated by our loving Edwin Boyette as a spreadsheet. And it was just a simple spreadsheet. Hey, these are CG comics. There might have been one indie or something on there, but it was mostly CG comics. Yeah, here's a CG comics. Come buy your CG comics. These are our comics. Fantastic. Okay, that's where it came from.
Okay. So when did it start changing? Because that's the thing. When I've been in Comicsgate for over a year now.
Yeah, me too.
And
it feels like 10 years.
Yeah, I go back. 2017.
Yeah,
watching diversity in comics and all that. Captain Cummings.
Whatever happened to him? He's gone.
Yeah, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Because I've not had any negative experiences with Captain Cummings, and he is old school, OG Comicsgate. So I definitely respect that. But I know that there are, that's where you get into these little factions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, don't start splitting up around there. Yeah.
Yes. But I love what Indiecron does. I like that you guys offer a platform to these Comicsgate books. But before, when it, say go back a few months, you used to list pretty much everything that was on Indiegogo, or am I mistaken about that?
No, well, that's when Pixel was in charge. Pixel was, he was by himself. He had a spreadsheet, and he was just basically, I think it was an embellished spreadsheet, to, paraphrase. And it had a lot of stuff on it. Then the Dr. Wright, and we joined Indiecron. And from that point, especially after a certain individual said that with guns waving through the air, that he was going to dox CGS using a creator. When that happened, I said, no, we're going CG only. That's it. Game over. Yeah, you may hate me now, but you'll love me later. And actually, I don't care. So it's CG only, and that's when that started happening. And we bounced some books. Some people left, right?
Okay.
Some people got bounced.
and that's kind of where some of the confusion, I feel like, has happened, because I've had people go, oh, you feel like you have to take a purity test, you have to do this. And I was like, I've never had to. You guys listed my book. The only time you guys have reached out to me is about, keeping my information updated and all that kind of thing. I've not had any problems with anyone on the Indiecron team. I haven't had to stand on your right foot and hold your hand up and prick your finger and do this. No. So I hear about this stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's just hypocrisy and lies. I mean, I did have it on my itinerary that I had to come to your house and check your waist size. That was part of it. But no, we gave up on that.
Okay.
No, there's no purity test, man. It's completely insane to say that.
But, okay, well, I've had people message me about, oh, well, this person's book got removed, or they won't list this person's book but when I've looked at some of those situations, I go, well, that person says they're not in Comicsgate. So
exactly, that's exactly it. When we went full CG only, right? We went to these people, hey, are you CG? Do you want to be in CG? This is CG only. All they had to do was just say, yeah, I'm in CG. I'm like, okay, cool, man, you're in CG. Cool. But no, they didn't say that. They said they're CG adjacent. I hate this word,
Yeah, I don't
adjacent.
do adjacent. I don't do adjacent.
What is this? Is this like some sort of drug that you take at night and it helps you become a man? What is adjacency? I don't know. I'm CG. You're CG. The website is CG. It's CG only. Now, if you don't want to be CG and you don't want to be on the website, well, there's other avenues in the world for you to go to, right? You could go to one of the thousands of failed indie sites, or you could go straight to Indiegogo. Why are you so fixated? Why is anyone so fixated on being on Indiecron if they're not CG? What's the fixation?
Well, actually, let's unpack that because I've had this I argue with people about this shit all the time. You know, a lot of times people say Comicsgate adjacent and they mention someone like Peter Simeti. Peter Simeti is a businessman who, unlike a lot of the publishers that say the big two, he wants business from everyone. He's not saying, "Hey, I'm Comicsgate." You know what I'm saying? He's just not attacking his customer base. So I don't know if that's really quote unquote Comicsgate adjacent. And so
I don't know
that's
what
just
it is.
being good business. Yeah, that's just being a good businessman to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a smart bloke. He's a gentle soul. He's kind-hearted. I've had it on my show. It's very nice. He's running a comic book company. Super. We don't have any of his books on our CG only site. So how is, I don't know how it's relevant.
And that's the thing. But one thing I've always tried to stress to people is that you not putting, say, an Alterna book on Indy Kron is not an attack on Alterna.
No, how could it be an attack on Alterna? We're a CG only site. And Edwin today posted, it's like, okay, well, something to the effect that if you want to Wendy's or you want to McDonald's and you go to Burger King, you're not going to get McDonald's at Burger King or vice versa. So we're CG only. We serve CG only books. And there's a very good reason for that, right? I mean, you know the reason.
You should trust me. That's the thing. I've had a lot of success within Comicsgate, but yeah, there are consequences to being in Comicsgate.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to get my content back. My whole channel got spiked.
Yeah.
But hey, I
everyone
love this community.
in CG knows this. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I love this community. This community has been extremely supportive of myself and Kane and White. But I'm Comicsgate, I'm not afraid to say I'm Comicsgate. I'm not. My foot's in the wall. I put a little tiptoe in there, and I'm just gonna kind of dance in and jump back out. I'm Comicsgate 7 days a week. Yeah, just a tip. Hashtag just a tip.
Yeah. So people who want to put just a tip onto Indiecron, well, they're going to find a hymen in their way, and or a big dude who wears boxing gloves, and that would be me. No, you're not getting on. I'm sorry. It's not an adjacent site. It's a CG site. It's a business. We're a business. We don't make any money, but we still have the rights to do whatever we want on Indiecron. And what we want to do is CG only. That's what we want to do. That doesn't stop anyone else, like, say, people like JDA, from, trying to steal our name, trying to mimic us, trying to do whatever we're doing because he can't do it and put everything on there. Well, more success to him. That's great, man. Put everything on there.
All right. Well, I'm actually glad. I've only interacted with John De La Rose a few times. There's no animosity between us. I think we appeared on maybe 2 streams on Ethan's channel, and a couple weeks ago when him and Ethan, publicly kind of squashed things, I had shown a page of artwork for Brand, and he complimented it, and I was very thankful to that. There's no bad blood, but a few people were tweeting out this blog post that he put up few hours ago, and I wanted to share it, and I wanted to kind of talk about it because
let's put it in context first, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of things have been going on the last few days, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it just seems a little interesting to me because I'm not an individual who believes in coincidence. Do you?
Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. But yeah, there's a lot of strange things that have been occurring over the last few days.
Yeah, yeah, really strange. And the stranger it becomes, and then suddenly out of nowhere, surprisingly, after the JDA issue has been squashed or squelched, as you say, I think hashtag JDA invented squelching. I think, but suddenly he's got a post. Haven't heard from him for ages.
Well, I mean, I definitely want to talk because, like I said, I read the post, and
Yeah.
obviously Indy Kron was mentioned in it, and sending it to me. So I wanted to, like I said, I had invited, some of you guys on because I wanted to actually talk about it. And this is a post that was put up a few hours ago called "Comicsgate doesn't want or need gatekeepers," and
Mhm.
you know,
Is that kind of like one of these sarcastic titles, or what's he trying to do there?
I'm not, like I said, not sure because um, I've had conversations with Ethan about this subject a few times because
Oh, I'm interested in that.
um, he said multiple times that he's not quote unquote the leader of Comicsgate. Everyone
Yeah,
puts it on him, but obviously he has a tremendous amount of reach and influence within the community. So whether he wants to be the leader or not, people tend to look to him. They want
right.
promotion on their books. And one thing I remember a couple months ago, I'd had a conversation with him, and we were talking about the fact that some people were upset that, say, a Richard C. Myers should, that he wasn't more in the forefront, even though he definitely, the Diversity in Comics channel was extremely influential as far as helping to spread this movement and reaching out to that disenfranchised customer base that just kind of felt like they were getting shit on by the big two. Pros telling customers that, hey, don't buy my books, and this, and the Diversity in Comics channel really spoke to me when I wish he still was Diversity in Comics. I was just
Yeah,
like,
so do I.
yeah, I
I think we all
really,
do, right? We all
yeah,
do. We
yeah,
all
I
miss
think
him.
so. I've talked to him a few times, and a few hours ago, Richard actually sent me a message and wished me a happy birthday. I love Richard; he's a great
Oh,
guy,
happy birthday! Happy birthday!
and you know, definitely important voice in this community. But whatever, he's kind of, I see him more as like a mastermind, a kingpin type figure where he's speaking out and making moves, but he doesn't want to be the guy in the front.
Right.
Whereas Ethan is like, hey, I'm out there. Let's do it. They already coming at me. Let's get it. And
I feel the
that's
same way. Yeah, I understand.
so I'm gonna read some of this post here.
Oh,
Let me
joy.
put it. So let me see here. Let me get on it. If I can quit
That,
having a boomer moment. Hold on. Let me
that'd
see.
be
All
something.
right. All right. Political gatekeeping has to stop. Last summer saw a group of guys who were forging ahead in indie comics in a way that was unique. We pushed each other's books, cared about the craft. We're working towards building a world where good books were what mattered. The whole point of Comicsgate was to point a middle finger towards gatekeepers, especially those on the left who try to stop right-leaning content from being seen.
Well, let's
It,
define good books here, right? I mean, we mean not like Captain Marvel, the movie. We mean books without the political SJW propaganda that they're trying to brainwash people into, right?
I definitely would see that. Bobby Drake is gay. Uh,
Right.
uh, Johnny Storm's bisexual. All
The
these little things.
the scrolls are now refugees. White man bad.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, all that stuff. Captain America is all of a sudden like, I hate the president and this and
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's
It's-
the president,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So we definitely just want traditional good stories without all the politics and stuff mixed in. I
Right.
know that's
And
what I
that's
want.
why we're CG, right? We have a label, it's CG, it's a political label. They used it against us, we took it, we used it for ourselves now. We made it into something fantastic. They thought it was going to be something horrible. We own it now.
Yeah, yeah,
Thanks to
definitely.
Ethan in large part, right?
Yeah, yeah, big time, big time.
Big
Yeah,
time.
Yeah. So,
So,
let me
but
see.
the reason I say this is, why wouldn't we go CG only when we have this commodity? It's a very specific commodity that we need to use to our benefit. When we say it's a CG book, as you were just reading, that means it specifies the type of book it is. Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So beyond the bizarre accusations of gatekeeping or whatever it be, I mean, I have my own personal opinions about those things. But beyond that, saying CG only means good books.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me. Good
Yeah,
books.
and I feel like we have a lot of great product coming out in this community in
We really
2019.
do. And not political books as well. So people who want to get on there because they're carpetbaggers or they want to play these games or roles or they want to attack Indy Kron, and they say, oh, it's this, it's that. Well, they don't really understand what you just said. So wisely, CG equals good books.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely good books. Because
Yeah.
there's so much good stuff coming out in the next few months. I'm really
Yeah.
excited to read everything. So let me go a little further. Say yes, a reminder is needed again that this whole movement came about because the extreme left establishment that runs comics blacklisted people on the right wing. Entire point was to counter this behavior and to welcome independent creators with open arms who want to put books first.
Okay, but let's deal with that for a moment, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's all true at the beginning, right? But things evolve. It's been years. Things evolve. So this is when someone is trying, even though this may be perfectly applicable, certain people often try to use things of the past, rules and regulations of the past, to keep things from evolving or to use it as something as a form of accusation. Do you see what I'm saying? Because this is leading up to an accusation, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And let me see here. As I maintained this message through the fall and winter, after the crowdfunding period ended, some with the honeymoon period, some folks went into political and fiefdom finger pointing just like the establishment did. I
Is this a
opposed.
run-on sentence? I mean, what is this? What kind of
It's a little
writing?
trickily worded, but I get the meaning.
Really? You're gonna have to explain that to me. I'm not as smart as you, mate, because
uh,
this is like a run-on sentence beyond my ability to decipher.
oh no, I'm Southern, so we tend to speak.
Okay. Yeah.
We tend to speak
What
like
is
this.
this? What's this word salad mean?
Well, I know there were several CG books at the. Let me see. I go back to that period that I've often talked about with Ethan that I refer to as the coup,
Okay.
where where we started to see that there were maybe splintering starting to happen within Comicsgate.
Oh,
You know,
right. Yeah, yeah.
and so I believe this is the area that he is talking about here when, people started, well, I don't like Ethan. I like Ethan. This person shouldn't be in Comicsgate. This person's not really in Comicsgate, but he did, and you started seeing things happen,
So
obviously.
what's this reiteration of crowdfunding period and then honeymoon periods? How many periods is this person having? What does this mean? Fall and winter and what? What?
Well, I
What's he
mean,
trying to say? How many? I don't get this. So it went through some periods. I'm certain tampons were involved, and it
mm,
kept going. Okay, great. Okay, he opposed it, and then he still opposes it. What is he opposing?
and then, well,
The period?
let's get to the next paragraph. He says,
Okay, let's do that.
some folks saw the light. We made up. Why? Because we're stronger together. Independents rely on each other to boost each other because we don't have the giant network platform and distribution that Disney and Warner Brothers have. They
Okay, well,
they are our opposition.
okay. So first of all, that's completely false. Independents, so-called independents, whatever you may ascribe to as independents, have been doing very, very badly for decades on end, right? CG though, CG doing pretty bloody good. Yeah, I mean, I think Cyberfrog, the third route of Cyberfrog, made what now? $60,000 in an hour or two.
Yeah, Ethan doing all right. He eating pretty good right now. So.
Yeah, so I'm not going to call that independence. Again, this is not indie books that he's talking about, because indie books have constantly failed, and that's another reason why we're a CG. People want CG books, man. CG books are hot. When Hollywood comes to buy IPs, when my boss comes to me, I work in a major studio, okay? And my boss comes to me and goes, "Hey, Jean-Luc, you seen any cool comic books lately?" What do you think I'm going to say?
You're going to recommend Comicsgate books?
I sure as hell am. Yeah, I really am. I'm not going to say to him indie books, because he's going to say indie books don't sell. Nobody buys indie books. They've been around for decades. Give me something hot. What have you got? Have you got something hot? I said, well, I've got something called Cyberfrog. It's like, is that CG guy? I'm like, yeah, that's that CG guy. That guy's hot.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And like, okay.
Yeah, well, anybody who has been following Mr. Van Sciver and all the pages that he has been previewing for Cyberfrog Blood Honey, that is an exceptional piece of artwork to me. I am very, very much looking forward to my friend completing that book and getting it shipped out. I've got 3 issues coming myself, and very, very happy and proud to have backed that book on multiple occasions.
Yeah. and it's on Indiecron. I wonder why. Oh, because it's CG. It's a CG book.
Well, there you go. And as is my book brand.
And my book will be Fireball CG only.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. We'll have to have you back when you're promoting that. So
thank you so much. So I'm saying this because specifically, what this is poorly attempting to do, is to capture a type of, it's like a trap, you're trying, oh, I believe this, this, and this, and then they're not doing this. Okay, but we don't have to do what this person says, or individuals like to say, because we're not necessarily indie. You see, we're CG, and we chose to be CG. So if you want to buy CG books, hey baby, I've got the website for you. Come buy some CG books. If you want to buy indie books, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't know where to go.
No, I don't have a problem with that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, let's move to the next paragraph, because he specifically mentions Indy Kron. He says now I blog today because a group that took the Indy Kron concept from me, an idea that originated on this blog. Originally, Edwin Boyette and I pushed indie books and made an easy resource for people to find them and how well they were doing. Anyone who wanted in could be in. We weren't gatekeepers. We were just facilitating readers, connecting with creators. That's the whole point.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a fallacy, or hypocrisy, or just straight out lies. Most of the books, again, I think there was maybe one book, I'd have to go back and look at the original spreadsheet, that I actually deleted, because this person who thinks that he was doing it with Edwin Boyette didn't have any access to it. It was on Edwin's Google sheet. He had total possession of it, and this individual had zero ability of dealing with it. So there were, again, maybe 1, maybe 2 maximum of adjacent books at that time, right? So we know there were adjacent books, but it was mostly CG books only, mostly for the pros. And obviously, Edwin is very close friends with all the pros, and so he made this spreadsheet.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Edwin Boyette. I admire that man. He's been a true friend to me. So
yeah, yes. And he is a source of wisdom to myself as well, and I deeply respect him. And so the point here being, he created this spreadsheet. It was in his possession at all times. This individual never had possession of it. It was linked to a web page that he let atrophy. That's it. That's the whole thing. And then Edwin took it away and gave it to Pixel.
Okay.
Just took it away. I wonder how he could do that. Oh, because it was his and not this person's.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting the education here because a lot of this stuff I've heard Edwin talk about, his beginnings with Indy Kron, and then why, it started getting to a point where he needed to let other people manage it.
Right. I mean, I think it's a very important point here. Okay. I don't own Indiecron. I have a big mouth. I'll say things like, I'm the master blaster of Indiecron. I'm doing my Ethan thing, right? I'm entertaining, right?
Right.
But the reality is that Indiecron is very much CG, for the people. We run Indiecron for the people specifically. And Edwin created it. He passed it on to Pixel. He temporarily had it housed on this individual's website on a single page. And then he took it and he passed it on to Pixel. And then the doctor and I went on and we turned it into what you see it is today. So, and it may change again. I may leave soon and someone else may take over. This is something for the people. It's for our CG group of people so that they know which books to buy, that they won't get doxed on. Which is a very
big thing.
Point.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
Yeah, but we're not there yet, right? So go ahead.
Right. But I don't know if I want to read the rest because it's basically, he started a website called Comics Codex. I guess that's going to be his version of Indy Kron.
Right, but let's back up for a moment. What he first did was, he's such a kind and loving soul. His idea of intelligence was to start a website called Indiecron as well. He didn't call it Comics Codex or Tampex or whatever the bloody hell that is. He called it Indiecron with a Y.
Oh, okay.
That's what he first did when we had our site up for a very long time. He did this purposely. It's his, he's a spiteful character and he likes to play little games, makes him feel like he's intelligent or smart. But the reality is he achieved nothing. And then Ethan had a little conversation with him, to which this individual quickly gave up his game. And so then he became Comics Codex. And to be clear, he posts books without asking people. He posts Crystal McGee's book, The Good Night. Everyone back it on Indiegogo. And it's also on Indiecron. The Good Night. He posted it without asking. Indiecron never posts anyone's books without their authorization. We respect creators and we post explicitly through communication with creators. And if we don't post them, we communicate with them as to why.
Okay, and I will say again, you guys have always been in touch with me and making sure that everything's up to date and all that kind of stuff. I respect the good work that the folks at Indiecron do. So I tip my hat to you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
But again, like I said, I don't know. I'm not on this site, so I don't know what Comics Code is. But the basic.
Don't go.
But let me stop sharing because I just wanted to talk about that.
It looked like MySpace the last time I looked at it.
Aha. But this is I wanted to talk about that because I've had people, tell me, oh man, Indy Kron used to be good. Now they gatekeep. This is that. Blah 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 blah.
When did someone tell you that recently?
Well, it started when you guys announced that y'all were going CG only. People were complaining.
Only, yes. I murdered adjacency that day. It took me forever to wash my hands. There was a lot of blood.
So, well, that's the thing, and I've told people I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with being CG only, but maybe that's controversial. Or should you just list everything?
How could that be controversial? I mean, aren't we CG? This is the part I don't understand. I'd love anyone who could explain this to me. We're CG. We're all CG. We want a site that's CG so that we're not doxxed by adjacent or not CG people because we're a political entity. We're a political group. We're a movement fighting against SJWs, and they use a lot of tactics, as you yourself know, my poor friend, right?
Yeah, and I see that the love is already coming. I'm starting to get the thumbs down and all that already. I
Getting
was like,
thumbs down there. Oh, you see?
oh, hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah, they
Um,
have fixated on you now, you see?
but I wanted to I see a really good statement in the chat from Corey Wicken. He says, or she, I don't want to assume a gender. Never
Gender assume.
mind. But I've backed Alejandro Mirabel's Indiegogo comic Long Harbor. I don't think he's CG, but his work looks fantastic. And I will say that several people that I know are CG have tweeted out Long Harbor. And if you've bought that book, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, it's
I buy
great.
a lot of Comicsgate books, but I buy comic books, period.
We're not telling anyone what to buy.
Mhm.
We're saying, if you want to buy CG books, come to Indiecron because we have CG only books. If you don't, go someplace else.
Yeah, and that's what I actually think that's important that Comicsgate books specifically are listed all in one place. I think that's an important thing to do. That's why, but I don't think that's I don't think that's a horrible thing, but
How
I,
could that be a horrible thing? I don't understand. How is that possible? What's bad about it? Give me one bad thing about it. Anyone, one bad thing.
well, again, you're talking to someone that agrees with you, so I don't
I
know,
mean,
but I
I
was.
can't even phantom. I can't even make up one. I mean, we're protecting our own people from doxing. They're certain that whatever book they buy, or at least until recently, whatever book they buy, they shan't be doxed because we're a very tight-knit community. We know each other very well. The people who buy the books, I mean, look, the people who buy the books in CG are very loyal people, right? Let's bring up Jesse, for instance. Jesse, I think, maybe bought 5 or 6 copies of Cyberfrog. 5
Mm,
or 6 copies. Probably bought a few copies of your book as well. We
yes.
all buy multiple copies. Now, who does that? This is a very important point I'd like to make. What industry does that?
I,
Multiple copies.
yeah. Well, okay. So it's getting. I want to get some clarification. There's a couple of things in the chat that I think is interesting. Let me see. From Dark Admiral March here, you said, "Yeah, that's been going on lately. Could that be addressed? It might be some lag. Could you tell me exactly what you're talking about? Because I wanna give Jean-Luc a opportunity to respond, and then let me
Yeah, sure.
see. I see the fist, who apparently may not be a fan. And he said, "Good Lord, could this never mind be anyone?" Just yeah. Oh man. Okay. Can, can we have respectful discord? That's all I was like. You can
I,
say whatever you want. I'm not asking you to
I can't
agree
see
with.
the chat. I can't see the chat, so I don't.
Okay. Because yeah. Okay. Let me see. Let me. Okay. He's got
They
a
may
no.
want to save their breath because I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why I was like, I'm trying to get things to ask you so that the people can talk to you and respond. But I was like, I don't want to just read attack, attack, attack. If it's okay if they disagree.
I don't mind attacks. They can disagree. I don't care.
Do you want me to read it as was written then? Because, like I said, I don't want to read.
Whatever you prefer. I've
Okay.
got a
Well,
spine of titanium. This means nothing to me. But you do whatever you want. It's your show,
okay.
man.
Let me go back there because I was like, yeah, I definitely want to get the question. I want you to give you an opportunity to respond. But like I said, I just want to keep
Well,
everything
you can
respectful.
paraphrase it so that the audience doesn't get shocked.
Okay. Well, it's in the chat. Good Lord. Could this fake French fuck be any more smug?
Oh,
Dipshits
thank
like
you.
this can't see the forest for the trees. I've backed numerous CG campaigns. Never once needed Indy Kron for anything.
Don't go to Indiecron then. I
Okay.
mean, it's so simple. It's like, don't go.
Okay. Let's see.
If you don't like Indiecron, don't go to Indiecron because guess what? We don't make any money. Indiecron makes $0.
Do you have AdSense advertising or any of that kind of stuff?
No,
Because I've
we
seen
have
the new.
nothing. We have nothing.
Why not? Because I've ran a few websites. I actually was a webmaster for like 10 years, and the bandwidth and everything, it got rather expensive. And just,
Yeah,
I know
it's
Google
expensive.
Ads definitely help.
I know, but it's a lengthy story. But there's 3 of us in Indiecron, and some of us would prefer not to have ads. So that's
Oh,
fine.
okay. I
You know?
got you.
And I said, oh, cool. No ads then. All right.
Because I was like, it seems like the traffic on the site is building up enough where you could, at least help to cover some of the costs, or maybe take
Well,
donations or something. I
yeah,
don't
we
know.
have a merch store. We have, you
Yeah,
know,
I saw.
uh,
Yeah, you got good
donations.
looking
Yeah.
shirts.
If
So,
somebody wants to help out Indiecron, it's down to the individual. If they want to help out Indiecron because they believe in what Indiecron's doing, super, man. Buy yourself a cap, buy yourself a t-shirt. Super. It helps us out, helps keep the website going. We make no money personally. We're doing this for the love of CG. And that's what I was trying to say about people buying 4 or 5 books. This is a political movement. We're very involved. The consumer is very involved, and we're very, how should I say, loyal.
hey, I'm cool with that. And guys, please, if you haven't, please, you can share this chat. I definitely appreciate Jean-Luc for being here with us today. Please hit that like button if you're out here, and have your questions. Like I said, I'm not asking for purity tests. I'm not asking everybody to agree. I want to have respectful discourse. If we can have, you can ask any questions you want. I'd like to offer Jean-Luc an opportunity to respond, but let's keep it civil. Let's disagree without being disagreeable if possible. But let me see. The Fist, I've seen another question or a statement from him. He says, we've been in this for over 2 years. These new hardcore CG larpers haven't been around 6 months yet. They
Right.
want to talk all this shit. Fuck them. It was always us versus SJWs before them. Okay.
I've been here since day one, so I don't know what that means. And yeah, I mean, sounds like he's agreeing with me. I don't know. Yeah, it's us versus SJWs, anti-Comicsgate. Yeah, okay, I got it. What's next?
Hmm. Okay. Well, let's see here. Let me see. Okay, Benjamin Bisco, how is it political? Why do you keep reiterating that? Can't you see that people find this just as ridiculous as the quote right-leaning stance by John De La Rose?
It's obviously political because the left wing SJWs have politicized it, and so we have a safe harbor here where we work together. I mean, I'm on I'm on Indiecron, I'm on Twitter. We do these things every day. We've been here like every day for over a year, every day. So yeah, it's a heavy dedication, right? And political isn't necessarily a bad word, is it?
No, no. I mean, I'm openly conservative. That sounds
Right.
ridiculous to even say that. It's like that you have to clarify something like that.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah, why would I have to clarify that? Yeah,
but
it's political. Yeah.
mm, let's see.
At some
But
point, it may move beyond that. It would be great to expand it and move into normies. And Indiecron is looking into how we're going to go about doing that to bring normies into our arena and sell comics to them. So at that point, I think the political nature of the situation may become less charged. Of course, the SJWs and all of their minions would have to stop attacking us day in and day out and accusing us of all these absurd things. Once that stops, then maybe it can stop being political, right?
well, there you go. Let's go back to the chat. Belnett, I'm okay with political in the sense of free speech, freedom to do your own thing without interference.
Right.
Okay. Let me see here. Smeebs, you can ignore politics, but politics won't ignore you.
Exactly. I mean, when you lose your job because of politics, and you potentially lose your home, you lose your way of life. Well, they've politicized something. You have to fight back. You have to do something in order to safeguard yourself. And that's what CG is, isn't it? I mean, isn't that what Diversity in Comics and Ethan and everyone, all the pros got together to do, to create an environment to make money for themselves and their family, right?
Definitely.
If that's not political, then what the bloody hell is?
Well, there seems to be some. It's getting a little spicy in the chat,
Oh, I like spicy.
but it's not. It's not. It's not towards you. It's. I guess there's some old beefs that are in there. But
Obese? What's that?
I wanted to ask you, what do you want to do with Indy Kron? How do you want to grow it as a platform? Do you want to do other things with it?
Yeah, I want to do a lot of things with Indiecron and really expand it far beyond what most people think it's capable of. But we have some obstacles, and if it's possible to overcome those obstacles, then we'll be doing that. If not, then we won't.
Okay. Um, and one reason I asked that because I remember a while back you guys had talked about possibly starting to list Kickstarter books on there, and it looks like that may be off the table, or am I wrong about that?
Um, well, Pixel brought it up a few times, and I just basically said, why? We don't know any people who are on Kickstarter, and we would have to come up with a completely different API that would scrape the information. I think it's kind of been shelved momentarily. We haven't gone over it very much. We were very, very fixated on trying to get the new features working properly, and they are working properly. And I'm focused on creating what I'm calling the next level, in which we create, a lot more features for Indiecron.
Like, say, an app or any of that kind of thing? Or
Oh yeah, like CG Tinder.
ooh,
Yeah,
oh, I like that.
I know you like that one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. But yeah, I really sometimes I've worried because I feel like the site has grown so much especially seems like about over the last 8 to 10 months.
Mhm.
Um, about how many projects do you think are listed on Indiecron at this particular moment?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 30.
Oh man, I thought you had more than that. Just 30?
It seems like a lot, but when you go counting it, it's. Well, I mean, anyone can
Yeah, I
count.
thought y'all might have like 100 or something on
No, I
there.
don't think we have 100. I could be wrong. I'll have to go back and check. But we're constantly adding. I just got a really interesting book submitted to me today that's going to be going on really soon. So yeah, we're always getting people. We're always getting people coming in and going, "Hey, this is a safe place for me to do comics. Is this CG?" I go, "Yeah, this is CG." "Is this Indiecron?" "Yeah, this is Indiecron." "Can I put my
Mm,
comic here?" I'm like, "Are you CG?" They're like, "Yeah, put your comic here."
mm.
He didn't. It didn't seem like much of a difficult test.
Hmm. But I mean, like I said, I really respect what you guys are doing. I like the way the new layout looks. I need to add because I want to add some stuff for Indicron in the description there, so I'll do that as this we get to the end here. But
And
I
did
want
did you look at your creator profile as well?
yeah, I know I had updated it a few. Has it been changed? Because I know I have
Yeah.
one because I submitted. I matter of fact I saw it because I have the little picture of David Craven that Kane and Drew. It's like a little
Right,
pencil sketch
right,
cover. Thought it
right.
looked really cool, so I was real
It
happy
did
with
look
it.
cool. Yeah, we're going to do a lot of improvements to that thing as well, to that feature as well. So I think you might find it very interesting.
Oh, okay. I see Pixel Trader in the chat, and he says 40 plus active campaigns, closer to 80-ish with closed, fulfilled, and upcoming. Yeah, talk about the upcoming sections. I thought that was a good thing. I thought
Yeah, I
uh,
loved upcoming. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was a good thing to add.
I
I
thought it
like
was
that.
fantastic. Yeah, I mean, we were in a meeting and I came up with upcoming, and I had to pat myself on the back for about 4 or 5 weeks. I'm like, yeah, but it was pretty an obvious idea. Probably anyone would have come up with it. But me being smug, as they say in the chat, uh, yeah, it was a great idea, and it took a little while to implement, but we got it going. And I think I don't think people are really availing themselves of it properly yet.
Mhm. Yeah, because I'm working on the sequel to Brand as Kane and his draft is called Way of the Gun. I definitely want to, as we get a little of the artwork and stuff created, I definitely want to make sure that is set up and listed on Indiecron so that we can get the buzz started.
Yeah,
So
I think we need to add a few more items to upcoming in order to make it more interactive and more attractive, to people, so that it just has more traffic, more interesting, get more people, more eyes on it. So I think we need another level of involvement, for people to go there and look at things. So I'm working on that as well.
okay. Let me ask you this, because is there an official like Indiecron like YouTube or any of that kind of stuff? Do you guys have official Indiecron social media?
Well, I've been doing most of the social media. Well, no, actually, I've been doing all the social media. I think Pixel put up one video or something, but we do have an Indiecron YouTube site that Pixel's in charge of.
Okay.
And I've been trying to do spotlights for comics on my channel as well. and we do discuss Indiecron often.
Okay, you'll have to give me that information. I'll put the link to your channel in the description as
It's
well.
just jeanlucmiesel.live.
Oh, okay, jeanlucmiesel.live. All right,
That's it.
that's fantastic.
Double
Okay,
regret.
let me see here. Samurai Sid says trying to look through Indiegogo is like going through a used book bin. Indy Kron is necessary.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is, because what are people going to do? They're going to go to Indiegogo and they're going to type in CG. I mean, how are you going to find CG books? And again, this is the point. People who are looking for CG books don't want indie books. They want CG books. So if they're going to Indiegogo to try to find CG books, that's going to be really difficult. It's going to be a pain in the ass. I mean, that's why we need Indiecron, because Indiecron is there with all of the spectacular beauty that CG is creating. So it's very important to me as a CG creator, that I want to be in this group. I am in this group. I've spent a year here, and it's very important to me to safeguard this group.
Okay. Now you said you have a project coming up. Tell me about it. Tell me about what you're coming.
It's called Fireball. It's an action sci-fi thriller. It's very, it's definitely very interesting. And I could go into a lengthy discussion of it, but I won't.
Well, I mean, tell me as much about it as you can, and people do watch my channel for some reason.
Of course they watch you, because you're Antonio. Come on, man. Well, it's very interesting. It's based on a sentient meteorite that comes to Earth and basically pulls 3 individuals from across the span of Earth's history: a boxer from the 20s, 30s, an Olympian karate champion, a female from the 60s, and a 1990s, gearhead. And so he brings these people together to combat a very terrifying artificial intelligence in our current era. So it has a lot of interpersonal dynamics, a lot of sci-fi, a lot of action, and a little bit of sexy stuff.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Do you already have your team in place, your colorist, your letterer, all that stuff, your artist?
It's all me.
You're doing everything.
I'm doing everything. No, I'm not doing, I probably won't do the lettering.
Okay.
But everything else. And if you go to indiecron.com and you look at Fireball, you'll see I have like 9 graphics up there on the book. So it's quite a lot of drawings up there.
If I had been prepared, I would have it already up already.
I know. What can I say?
So I was like, let me see, because I want to look at your book. I want to check it out, because you got me all peaked and everything. So
well, I kind of put up a lot of older drawings, some half done, some half, because I wanted to show people that I could draw, and I wanted to show the process that I can do the process. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because I haven't drawn a comic book before, so I felt like I needed to really prove this.
And it's in the upcoming section, or?
Yes, it is in the upcoming section.
Let's see, because I'm on Indiecron now, and I see some of your sexy merch on there.
And it says Fireball.
Let's see here. Upcoming. I was like, man, we do have a lot of projects on Indiecron. Here he goes. Fireball. Fight for your soul. Pull this bad boy up.
Soul.
Aha. Let me do my screen share thingy again.
Do your screen share thingy.
And we'll get that.
God, I thought I had my smug switched off this morning.
Well, let me see. This has been a fun conversation. I think it's important. Indiecron's important within Comicsgate, and I feel like it's important to, have the people that work and curate Indiecron, speak to the public and actually try to explain what exactly is going on. But this is Fireball.
If you click on the top orange, go up a little. There you go. That's expanding. Click that. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
See? Boom.
All right. So this is your baby right here.
It's my baby.
All right. Let's see. Ooh, like her. All right. Yeah, that's what's that? It kind of reminds me of the Fifth Element right there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely Fifth Element ripoff.
Okay, because I was like, yeah, that definitely looks like the Fifth Element to me. Okay, let's see.
This is Horse. He's a boxer, and he has certain abilities that have been amplified, and he's in our current realm right now. So here's it. He's trying to lift something here. He's really pissed off.
All right. Well, hey, no, I'm digging it, brother. I'm digging it. All right.
Are you digging it? All right. So this is when he's coming out of the meteorite when he first appears. It's like time travel in a sense, but he's coming into our world. He's not yet conscious.
Okay. Let's see. Go to the. Oh, I like that. Okay.
I did a little Liefeld there. Did a little
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it kind of looks like you got a little Jim Lee Liefeld type vibe right there. I
Yeah,
see like the Wolverine, like if you just put some Wolverine claws up at the top, that's what it would be.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
For
yeah. Okay,
sure.
because I was like, okay, might have did a little homage to. Ooh, there we go, sexy, sexy. Got it.
Yeah, I keep changing my style. I'm trying to find what I really like.
But you don't
This,
have any pages like laid out or anything yet.
no, I'm almost done. I'm working on them. I'm going to launch pretty soon.
Oh,
This is
okay.
this is the antagonist. His name's Crackerjack, and he's the artificial intelligence. He's got like a helmet, that's like a hawk and Darth Vader, mixed together.
Okay. I see you, brother. I see. Oh yeah. I love the ladies, man.
Yeah, I gave her a little ample posterior there.
Yeah. She built the way I like. She definitely built the way I like.
Yeah, I
And
thought I would
then
try that. And this is just kind of a pencil test where I'm showing people, look, I can draw, and here's how I render different styles of rendering and such.
okay, I got you. A little backhoe action. Okay, what's going
Little
on with that?
background. And then again, this is Crackerjack as well. This one's fully inked, not fully colored, but fully inked.
Yeah, I'm digging you, brother. All right. Oh, okay. What's this?
And so this is Vector. He's the third character in the book, and he's basically a tech head. So he's built this device that's strapped to. I was just drawing this freehand very quickly, and I was like, "What is this going to be?" I have no idea, but I like it.
About how many pages is your book going to be?
48 pages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and it's going to be all contained in one book, one story.
Oh, this looks nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's Horse. He's the boxer from the 20s, and so he has the ability to manipulate the metal beneath his skin. So he forms these kind of boxing, very threatening sort of boxing. Knuckles. You don't want to get hit in the face with one of those. So this is mostly those two items are my most current work. Sorry, I may have gotten dropped. Anyone there? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. Are you there?
Yes, I am. I am. For some reason, it went all crazy and wonkers on me, and I got kicked out of the stream. I don't know what happened,
Okay.
but
I wasn't sure either. I thought it was me. So then I bounced out and then bounced back in.
okay, because I was like, oh no, okay, hold on, let me make sure. Let me see if the chat is still here, because I was like, oh no, that's not good. Let me see. Let me see if we're still okay. It looks like okay. There we go. I see people. I see people that's still here.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the shocking effect my book has on things.
I was like, he's saying I got no sight. Can you can hear me though?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I'm seeing people in the chat saying that oh man, it looks a little wonky on the screen, but I can hear you and you can hear me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You poor Antonio, you're getting it from all sides lately.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, God forbid. I hope no one is attacking my channel again, because that would not be. I don't know how much more of that I could take.
Now you've had to endure a lot. How are you doing? Let me interview you now. How are you doing, sir?
Well, a young lady by the name of Joy from YouTube, she reached out to me last night.
Ooh.
And I've got a case number. They're looking at my channel because when I reached out to her, she was saying that, hey, your channel looks fine to me. Can you show me what you? She had no idea that I had over 300 videos flagged because, you know, she was just looking at the like 2 that I had up. And she was like, no, everything's fine. What are you talking about? And, you know, and I was like, no, that's not what's going on. I'm in trouble. And she said, well, can you send me some screenshots? And so I took a few and shot them over to her. And she's investigating now. So something occurred.
It's very strange when you have 300 videos taken down and a woman shows up and goes, no, you look fine. It's like, excuse me?
Yeah, there's also, let me see, Septinob 709, Antonio, a few of your old videos popped up on my recommendations. Really? I hope all of them start popping up on your recommendations because I need my content back. I spent a lot of time, you know, you talking, you know, thousands of dollars worth of, you know, material that is gone that I can't replace, you know, interviews with Ann Neseni and an interview with Steve Englehart that they've never done before. Either one of them will tell you they had never done a Google stream before in their lives before I set those up. You know, though, you know, I can't put a price on that content. You know, that's you know, and I thought those were really good streams. I thought the Sanford Green stream was, you know, really good. And, you know, that's why I'm saying, you know, not to mention all the different books that I've promoted. A lot of Comicsgate folks have come on my channel, you know, like Stephen Hart and, you know, with the Sami children, Rusu, you know, Gilbert Deltrez. I've had so many of them on. So, you know, I definitely want to preserve that.
Well, I think you're going to get them back because she showed up and she couldn't, you know, she didn't show up and go, oh, yes, we know exactly what's wrong and you're screwed. They didn't say that, though, did they? She came in and go, well, wow, this is weird. I'm going to have to look into it. So it's good.
Yeah, so, man, it's looking all wonky on the script for whatever reason. I think they can still hear us, but it is going like loopy on the, I don't know what happened. For the thing. So it's like, this is crazy. I'm like, I mean, at least chat, I'm just making sure. Can you guys still hear us? Because it looks, the playback that I'm seeing when I'm looking on into the chat, it looks like this screen is all wonky. It is like I'm seeing a purple screen. I've tried refreshing. I thought I was just having some issues, but I can definitely hear Jean-Luc. And it sounds like he can hear me.
Yes,
yeah. That's why I was like, I don't know what we're transmitting though. So please let it. Okay, Geek Out Loud can. I hear you, and congratulations, sir, on your book getting funded. Tales from the Stacks. I'm glad you guys are funded. That is fantastic.
And Tales from the Stacks, they're on Indiecron as well.
Yes, Tales from the Stacks is on Indie-Kron.
I wonder why.
That is all right. So that is good. But okay, everybody's telling me they can hear us now. Okay, so it's starting to level. I don't know what that was that kicked me from the thing. It just, maybe it was just a little quick transmission.
It's the apocalypse, Antonio. The apocalypse is coming.
Oh, please, I'm knocking on wood and stroking my wood and doing every other thing.
I don't know if that's going to help, mate, but
yeah, well, it helps me.
Okay.
Thunderbird, thanks for the $2.99. Here's hoping things work out. All right.
Oh, you got super chats. Oh,
yeah, that's the thing. They struck all my content, but my channel has 0 strikes. I'm still monetized. So
well,
the new video.
Why aren't people coming in here and dropping down some heavy coins to call me names?
I don't know.
They must not hate me enough yet. I'm going to have to work much harder.
Well, we don't want anyone to hate anyone, but
oh, come on. I mean, look what poor Ethan goes through.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
And I would say again, you know, there are people that are like, I don't want to deal with Indy Kron, they're gatekeeping, blah, blah, blah. And I want, you know, that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I was like, hey, if you want to ask someone from Indy Kron a question and, you know, get some clarification about why, you know, things are done, certain changes were made, let's have this conversation. The door is open. You know, let's have that conversation.
Yeah, I'm right here. So drop some money and call me names.
Yeah. And if nothing else, hey, it's my birthday. Give me a little birthday tip. Throw me
That's
$2.
right. I mean, geez, if I can't make you some money, I don't know who's going to.
Well, perhaps you should have worn a bikini.
Perhaps, but I'm too
So,
muscly.
so let me ask you this:
Yes, sir.
what brought you to comics? Why do you love comics?
Oh, well, I love comics. What I love, I love the kind of Adam Warlock comics. Those are the comics I was really into. Used to go into back issues and find comics because I'm a writer originally. I'm a script doctor, and when this whole thing with comic book movies really started, I started going into old issues of everything. And a lot of Jim Starlin, just Jack Kirby, all the old stuff. But I really like Captain Marvel. Let his soul rest in peace. And Captain Marvel and Warlock. Those are two of my favorite characters, and both done beautifully by Jim Starlin. And so that type of writing really got me into comics heavily.
I'd love to talk to Jim Starlin. That would be amazing.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And the way he's been treated is just shocking.
Yeah, and one thing I like these guys to have a little feistiness to him. I like that he's spoken out a few times.
Yeah, you got to be, right.
Yeah,
so why should I be a pushover? You've got to be like Jim Starlin. You've got to fight for what's right.
Yeah, well, hey, I love it, man. I've enjoyed this conversation, man. This has been great, and
Thanks,
I certainly appreciate your time. And again, anyone from Indy Kron has an open door on this channel. I am an admirer of what you guys do, and I think you're important to Comicsgate and this community. And I see this. I see Indy Kron just growing and growing. Perhaps I want you guys to make money, though. I feel like you should be compensated for what you do.
Well, look, I mean, like I said, Indiecron, it doesn't really belong to anyone. We're not really doing it to make money. It belongs to CG. That's how I feel. And it's been passed on by Edwin, over to Pixel, and then on to us. We're doing the best we can because we believe in this community. So that's very heartfelt from me. I'm going to do a comic book, and if CG likes my comic book, then I'll make a few dollars. Fantastic. And if they don't, well, that's cool too. But I'm doing what I think is right.
But see, that's the thing. I believe that's the perfect thing on it, because that allows the market, the people within the community to decide.
Right.
And that's what it is. So let me see here. I got a couple super chats.
Yes.
Steve Guy, happy birthday, Antonio. Have a drink on me. Hail Jean-Luc. Hail Indiecron. Hashtag war campaign.
Hail.
Yeah, appreciate Ro and the boys at War Campaign for having me on last night.
They're doing their jobs, the jobs that we don't want to do, the dirty jobs.
Let's see. The DJ D Show, hashtag do not give birthday money to Jean-Luc. Hashtag blame War Campaign. All right.
Give me your money, Antonio.
All right. So, but man, this is, again, I'd like to have more of these conversations. Really, really, again, appreciate you for coming in. I'll definitely add that information to the description, because I want people to be able to definitely want to support Indy Kron and support the campaigns that are listed on there. There's a lot of great books on there, a lot of great books that are upcoming on Indy Kron.
Right. And if I said anything that people don't like, they can feel free to DM me. My DMs are open.
Yes, they are. And I appreciate, that's what I'm saying. As are mine. And let me say, as we close this thing out, is there anything that you would like to say in passing before we close the stream out, sir?
I'd like to say two things. I'd like to say, wow, that was a lot of money Ethan made on Cyberfrog in one day.
Indeed, indeed.
And I'd like to stick it to the SJWs with that. That felt good. And my book's coming out next month, Fireball. If you don't buy it, well, you probably don't like comics.
Well, again, when it does come, please reach out to me. I'd love to have you back on.
Great. I'd love to be on.
Sounds
all right. Fantastic.
That is fantastic. All right, everybody, we're going to end it up. I would definitely like to tip my hat and thank to Jean-Luc Miesel for coming here today and talking. I wanted some clarification on what Indy Kron is, what it is not, its place within CG. I think we had a very productive conversation, and I hope it will continue. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap this one up. And if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel. Everywhere is at Ikari Press. And if you type in IkariPress.com, it will take you directly to my Indiegogo campaign for my comic book series brand with the phenomenal Kanan White. We're on Teespring. We're on Amazon. The links to those are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.
I'm out.